What's going on, guys? Mike Butler here with another edition of the Mike Butler Wrestling Podcast. Uh, Please do me a favor, guys. Hit the subscribe button on that YouTube page. Hit thumbs up on this video as well as all the other videos that I've posted. It really helps me out a lot. It shows me that you guys are enjoying what I'm bringing to you. Whether you're a wrestling fan or not, if you find something interesting, just hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Don't miss a show. It would really help me out. Also, I'm a friendly person. Hit me up on Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter. It's all going to be in the description. So you guys can just, say what's up, hang out, talk wrestling, talk anything you want. As long as it is appropriate, of course. Today is a big day. Today is the kickoff to a series that I expect to be the staple of the Mike Butler Wrestling Podcast. We are talking Monday Night Raw versus Monday Nitro. I'm excited for this series. I can't wait to get started. What is going to happen, and here's how we'll do it probably for the foreseeable future. Every week, no specific day unfortunately, but every week there will be a Monday Nitro versus Raw podcast. I will be looking to kind of compare certain things between the two shows. Today I'll be doing the commentary. Not really going too deep into it, just, who's on commentary, what I like about it, what I don't like about it. Every week I'll be doing, the matches that are on each show. And also the realism. Who's got me hooked to their storylines. And if I were somebody who never watched wrestling before in my life, what show would I be drawn more to? So that's how we're going to do things. And at the end of each of these episodes, I will pretty much tell you guys who I think should win the Monday Night War for that week. And maybe, as a little fun tidbit, if I can find out, maybe we can see who actually won the ratings that week and see if my choice is the same as who won. So I think that's pretty fun. We're gonna get started with Monday Nitro. I have my notes on my phone, so that's why you see me keep looking down. So funny thing with Nitro, the first episode was September 4th of 1995. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to watch the very first episode of Nitro. And then I'm going to watch some crappy-ass Raw, probably. There wasn't a Raw to face off against Nitro on this day. So, I watched the first episode of Nitro. And, real quick, it was a great show. It took place in a mall, Mall of America, in Minnesota. And it probably didn't matter that there wasn't a Raw, because the Nitro kicked some ass. It was straight fire, as Becky Lynch would say. But, it had some good things and some bad things, and the bad things we'll get into when I start this other Nitro episode, because it's more of the same. But yeah, the first Nitro was a great episode. The Lex Luger thing, where no one expected him to show up because he was literally just signed with WWE, WWF at the time. That was shock factor, shock value. I get it. It's awesome. And Hulk Hogan's money. And really, just in case you're watching this and you have no idea what the hell I'm talking about, what's the Monday Night War? What is Raw versus Nitro? Why is it such a big deal? Well, back in 95, the WCW were looking to go head-to-head with the WWE. WCW was owned by Ted Turner, the guy who brought you TBS, the guy who brought you TNT, the CNN, and I'm pretty sure he had something to do with the Atlanta Braves. Thanks a lot. He basically wanted to go head to head with Vince McMahon on prime time. So Eric Bischoff suggested, hey, give me 2 hours on TNT. And Ted Turner said, okay. And so then, just like that, now we have, in a time where there was no DVR, I think VCRs were like really in, and even with VCRs, you can't record the anything like something on a different channel. You have to record whatever you're watching. So now we have Monday Night Raw, which is kind of already established. It's 1995. It's been on for almost 3 years at this point. Almost 2 years at this point. And now you have this brand new show that's coming into your neck of the woods if you're WWE. WCW was around for a long time, but they never really had that captured audience that the WWE has up until Nitro. So that's what it was. And in the 90s, everything was starting to become cutting edge a little bit. Music was getting cutting edge. They had bands like Nirvana come around, and WWE was handing out a product that was kind of kiddie, to say the least. Not so much the PG that we see today, probably worse. No, in fact, it was worse. I mean, characters like the Dumpster and Repo Man and real out of whack characters, and nothing real. And that's what people probably that were my age now, back then, that's what probably like 26-year-olds back then were looking for. That's probably what like teenagers were looking for, not these hokey pokey ass characters that the WWE was shelving out to us. WCW had Hulk Hogan. Everyone knows Hulk Hogan. There's some viewers right there. WWE was still trying to establish the new Hulk Hogan, I guess you would say. I mean, they had Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, but they weren't really big yet. So you got Hulk Hogan. That helps WCW right there. And then you have your Ric Flairs. You got your Stings, Macho Man. Yeah, all these guys used to work for WWE, and this is smart by WCW. These guys made a name for themselves in WWE. They no longer work for them. Or, let's steal them. And that's what they did. And that's really in my opinion, the official kickoff of this WWE versus WCW war was when Hulk Hogan signed with WCW. And now you're signing Macho Man. You're signing all these guys that used to work for WWE, made a name for themselves in WWE. These guys are recognized by fans. So when people see them on your show, you damn right you're going to get viewers. And yet WWE has people that, other than maybe like Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, The Undertaker, that's it. Really, Yokozuna, Owen Hart, all that guy. Nowhere near the star power as WCW is what I'm getting at, and as you move through this series, you'll understand exactly how much that was a big factor in this war, especially towards 95, 96. I don't want to give too much away, but yeah. So let's get started here. We have Monday Nitro, September 11th, right? September 11th, 1995, from Miami, Florida. The commentary team is Eric Bischoff, Bobby Heenan, Steve Mongo McMichael. Okay, first problem. These were the same guys that did the first Nitro. I don't know the story with Steve Mongo McMichael. I know he used to play for the Chicago Bears, pretty sure he was on their Super Bowl team in '85. Don't know how he translates to wrestling. Either way, annoying as hell. And I would have been just fine with Eric Bischoff and Bobby Heenan just doing commentary. I don't need Steve Mongo McMichael. Anyway. So, the first show was in a mall, as I mentioned. Now, this seems like this episode, the second episode, seems like it's in an actual arena, and I'm very curious as to see how they went from a mall to an actual arena in a week. So, that's interesting. The first match of the night, Sabu versus Alex Wright. So, Sabu, as most of you should know, famous in ECW. Unbelievable. This was a surprise to me. I didn't know he had a WCW run. I don't know if he was an I'm assuming he was in ECW first. Maybe there was a contract dispute. Came to WCW and then went back to ECW. And he must not have been with WCW for too long. Because I feel like I would have known that. And if I don't know something in wrestling, then that's impressive. Alex Wright, I actually am aware of him. Not from watching him, though. I remember for some reason when I had my Nintendo 64 and I was playing WCW NWO Revenge, I would, for some reason, pick to play with Alex Wright all the time. I don't know why. Because, from what I understand, he was pretty much the residential, enhancement talent to get people over. But, yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I kept on picking Alex Wright. I don't know why. But anyway, Sabu just didn't look right in WCW, at least in this episode. He didn't. He looked like he just didn't fit in. He belongs in like a hardcore environment. WCW is not a hardcore environment. Alex Wright is not a hardcore wrestler. I understand what WCW is trying to do here. ECW was hot in the 90s. So people knew who Sabu was. But you need to put him in. I mean, Sabu's known for like the crazy, homicidal, genocidal, death-defying Sabu. ECW had rules where he could be that character. Homicidal, genocidal, suicidal. WCW, you got rules. And you can't do crazy things like the Arabian facebuster with a frickin' chair. You can't do that. There was a moment where he jumped off a folding chair, which he would do in ECW, but that was it. So it definitely felt just not right seeing Sabu in a WCW ring. He does win with the Sabu does hit the Arabian facebuster just without the chair underneath him for the win on Alex Wright. And then after the match, you got Sabu, who tried to put Alex Wright through a table, and they played it off that he did, but it really looked like Sabu got the worst of it if you watch it. By the way, guys, I encourage you guys to, I'll be doing these in order, so if you guys want to watch them during the week, again, like I said, each episode so far has only been 45 minutes. During the week, if you have some time, just play it in the background. Listen. Try to watch. Just so you know what I'm talking about. But anyway. Yeah, so Sabu wins. But then he puts Alex Wright through the table. And the referee reverses his decision. And Alex Wright did win by DQ. Not a week prior, the night before, I don't know what event they had, but Alex Wright beat DDP. I don't know what kind of character DDP was in '95, but hey, you know, he's going into the Hall of Fame this year, so Alex Wright is beating a Hall of Famer. Just saying. Ric Flair comes out now. Ric Flair is about to lay down a badass promo. Of course he is. He's great at that. To give you a little background of what we're about to see here, apparently Ric Flair and Arn Anderson have had a little bad blood recently. I never knew that they even had a feud. I always thought they were four horsemen for life, you know, that thing, I thought that was for life. So, and again, guys, you'll probably see me, like, not knowing a lot of things when I see here on the WCW side of things, just because, again, I was not a big WCW guy. So, that's why this series is so exciting for me, because I'm learning something new, I guess you could say, and just putting more knowledge in the old noggin here. So yeah, so they're on their way to a match at Fall Brawl, I believe it was, which is War Games, which is the two rings, double cage war fest. Sorry about that, guys. Let me just take care of business right here real quick. Planned here. Sorry guys. So yeah, Ric Flair comes out, gives a nice promo on Arn Anderson and how Arn Anderson's his behavior. Arn Anderson's behavior is disappointing to Ric Flair. Ric Flair was talking about how he was, in Miami the night before, night out in town, and it just didn't feel right without Arn Anderson. So then, for some reason, Lex Luger, who has a WCW title match tonight against Goldberg, Hulk Hogan, excuse me, he comes out and just stares at Flair while Flair hypes up, you're going to beat Hogan, all that crap, and Luger just looks like he doesn't want anything to do with Flair, which begs the question to me, why are you out there then? So then he gets the mic from Mean Gene and says, Flair, you never change, or some things never change, and then just leaves. So he really has nothing to say here. Whatever. So then we get a match for the United States Championship. At this time, the United States Champion was Sting. Surfer Sting, not Crow Sting. And he is facing V.K. Wall Street. Now here's a little tidbit for you. Some things happened during this match, which we'll get into. Not really in the match, but on commentary. So, V.K. Wall Street, if you don't know him, not surprising. It is Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas's daddy, Mike Rotunda, who was in the WWE as the IRS. On the first episode of Nitro, they did a vignette for V.K. Wall Street, only his name was Michael Wall Street. So now they changed his name to V.K. Wall Street. This is a little shot at the WWE. Here's why. V.K. is Vincent Kennedy McMahon. So it's a little bit of a shot, and they really play it up on commentary. Eric Bischoff's like, "What's with this VK stuff?" Yada yada yada. Like, I don't know if there were fans out there who were privy to this name change and knew what really it meant, but I don't get why you play it up if fans won't understand. And I'm sure some fans knew, but like, if I'm watching this at 5 years old, I'm like, why the hell is he making a big deal about his name? Sting wins, but while Sting was coming down to the entrance, Eric Bischoff shots fired to the WWE, not only with the name, but he gives away the results of Monday Night Raw And I won't read them because we're still going to cover Raw, and I don't want to give it away, I guess. But yes, he insults some of the talent that is performing on Raw, but the big thing is he gave away the result of Raw. Raw was preempted, I think, every 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks you would see Eric Bischoff, as soon as Raw was about to air, tell the fans watching his show, don't change the channel to that show because I got your results right here for you. Big blow, big blow. I would call it a low blow, but you know what? It worked for Eric Bischoff. So, hey. But yeah, Sting wins. Nothing to, this was just, I don't know why you would debut VK Wall Street against Sting for the U.S. title. Sting's not going to lose that title. We got Scott Norton versus Randy Savage. This was actually built up. I mean, I don't know who Scott Norton is, but this was built up to be a pretty big match. I hated the finish, though. All you wrestling fans out there, you'll know the Dungeon of Doom, big heel faction in WCW, and really the only hokey characters they had compared to WWE. Like, WWE had a lot of them. The WCW just had the Dungeon of Doom, and who were really hokey, but also at the same time they gave us the Giant, so whatever. But anyway, we'll get into that. So to lay it down here, the Dungeon of Doom, they're gonna pick 4 guys, and they're supposed to be facing Hulk Hogan, Sting, Randy Savage, and Vader at Fall Brawl in the War Games. That'll explain the fact that the Dungeon of Doom tried to interfere in this match to cost Savage this match. However, something happened where the former Avalanche in WWE, he's playing a shark now. And you know him, he's a big boy. Scott Norton's on the ground. I believe Savage hit a knee on Avalanche or Shark, whatever his name is at this time. I don't even know what it was. And Avalanche falls on Scott Norton's knee, so he can't move. And while that happens, Savage hits that elbow drop, wins the match 1-2-3. I don't know why. I mean, nowadays, you see even a little bit of interference, you'll get a DQ. So now you're not. How could a referee think that was fair? That Scott Norton was pinned down by this big ass guy, and just seems a little bit unfair to me, but that's how that match went down. But yeah, so then we get to the main event. We get Hulk Hogan versus Lex Luger for the WCW title. This was a big match. I believe it was the first time these guys have ever faced each other. When Hulk Hogan left the WWE, they were grooming Lex Luger to be the next Hulk Hogan. And you could see why. He's built almost exactly like Hulk Hogan back in the day. Not now. But I guess things just didn't work out. And, without notice, his contract just expired, and without notice, Lex Luger just shows up on an episode of Nitro a day, I believe a day after working for WWE, doing an actual event for WWE. So that was a big kick in the balls right there. And I don't believe Lex Luger is in the WWE Hall of Fame. I'm pretty sure he's not. And I don't think he ever will be because of this move. Yeah, so this was a big match. It was back and forth. It was 2 dominant guys. Steve Mongo's commentating is just terrible on this. There was a line that he says, the owners of WCW aren't fining these guys for excessive hitting. Yeah, because it's wrestling, not the NFL, and you're supposed to hit them. The hell? Anyway, fast forward through the match. Luger has Hulk Hogan in the torture rack. I'm not going to perform it. Can't perform it. If you don't know what it is, look it up. He lets go early because I guess he thought Hogan tapped out. Or Hogan gave up. So he's celebrating thinking he's winning the title. He ain't winning. Next thing you know, Hogan hits the boot, drops the leg drop. Before the 3 count though, the Dungeon of Doom runs in and you get a DQ finish here. Same hokey pokey finish that you kind of see today, really. Big matches, DQ finishes, whatever. Same kind of stuff. And it's the same kind of stuff that WWE was doing in '95 as well. So then, one Dungeon of Doom, they're beating up Hogan, then Savage comes out, Sting comes out, Lex Luger kind of helps out, I believe. So it's announced that at War Games, at Fall Brawl, the Dungeon of Doom are going to face Hogan, Sting, Savage, and Vader, but Vader apparently has went AWOL. Now, I don't know if this was the end of Vader's contract, but this is how they played it up on TV, that he didn't file the appropriate paperwork, so now he's off the team, and he's gone AWOL. And I know Vader debuted at the Rumble in '97, but this is '95, so I'm assuming Vader just took a leave of absence and is coming back. I don't know. Not sure. So now, Team Hogan has an open spot for Fall Brawl. And Hogan and Savage are all upset because Dungeon of Doom was kicking everybody's ass. Sting, Savage, Hogan, except for Lex Luger. Now, I don't know why they're upset with Lex Luger. Lex Luger's been there for 2 weeks, and Hogan's already got an issue with him. I mean, the only issue he should have with him is, yo, you tried to take my title. Not like, yo, dude, you've been working for the Dungeon of Doom this whole time. Been there for 2 weeks. Come some slack. Same with Savage. But anyway. So Sting sticks up for Luger. I know they're boys outside of the wrestling ring. So Sting sticks up for Luger and wants Luger on the team. Savage does not want Luger on the team. So Hogan says, well, you know what? We're going to go to Fall Brawl 4-on-3. If you want to help. And if you don't help, we'll see where your true colors are. And that's the end of Nitro. If I were Luger, I wouldn't want to help these guys. They just insulted me. I'd help out Sting. Sure, Sting, fine, I'll help you. Not Hogan or Savage. Fuck them. But this was actually a good episode of Nitro, I felt like. And I've tried to watch Nitro episodes before, and I can't really. I can't seem to get into them and finish them, really. So, for someone who's a big WWE guy, this was a pretty good show. Commentary sucked, but I'm pretty sure it can't get any worse than what we're about to go over with 2 people. But commentary did suck. I mean, Mongo McMichael sucked. Eric Bischoff could have laid low. I mean, not laid low, but kind of eased up on the VK insinuation to the fans. Like, I just don't think a lot of people understood what that was. And Bobby Heenan's just, no complaints from Bobby Heenan. I mean, they were just, Bobby Heenan's just awesome. So now we're going to Raw. And basically, we got Vince McMahon and the King on commentary. It looks like when they first show them, this is the new fall season of WWE Raw, WWF Raw, whatever. New fall season. They're amping it up as it's the new fall season. And with a new fall season, apparently Vince McMahon and Jerry Lawler can't make it to the damn show because they open up and they're there, but you could totally tell there's a green screen in the back. Like, that is not a live audience. So, but again, it was taped. So, I guess that has something to do. I guess that has something to do with it. I don't know. We get Razor Ramon versus the British Bulldog. The British Bulldog is just recently coming off a heel turn where he power slammed then WWE champion Diesel. He's also coming off a brand new haircut as well. He used to have the long ass hair, now he has that short hair that we all probably know. These matches were hard to watch. I mean, I was really into it for the storyline, I guess you could say, because there's two storylines here. Razor Ramon had something going on with Dean Douglas, who no one's going to know that person, so we'll just call him Shane Douglas, the franchise. Everyone knows him. And, you know, this is the first time, really, Bulldog is getting into his heel run. He's managed by Jim Cornette. Awesome. The referee gets knocked out at one point. Razor hits the Razor's Edge on Bulldog. Should be it. Shane Douglas comes out, tries to cost Razor the match, and then the 1-2-3 Kid, who we all know is X-Pac, will come out, try to help Razor, but he gets owned by Shane Douglas anyway. So then, we get, guess what we get? You know, 1-2-3 Kid, X-Pac, nails Bulldog. And then, well, he doesn't nail Bulldog, he hits, he hits Razor Ramon by accident. It's a DQ finish. Razor's DQ'd. Vince McMahon, who, his commentary, as bad as Mongo's commentary was, as much as Eric Bischoff hyped up the whole VK Wall Street thing, Vince has no idea how to excite the fans. And what I mean by that is, he was always trying to hype up that this pinfall is going to end the match. Like, he would do the whole 1, 2, and it's oh no, it's not over. Like, acting like it's about to be over. It's not over. He would do it okay, you're going to do it like once a match? Alright. You're doing it every pinfall, it seems like. Shut up. It was just terrible. That's going to, at the end of this show, when we are talking about that, that's going to be a difficult category to really see who was better. So, where were we? Yeah, so Vince McMahon comes in after the match to give an interview with 1-2-3 Kid and Razor Ramon. This is after 1-2-3 Kid upset Razor Ramon on Raw. That happened in 93. This is 95. So 1-2-3 Kid has a win under his belt over Razor Ramon, and he tells Razor that he's tired of being treated like a kid, and he hasn't gotten any respect since he beat Razor 2 years ago. What have you done lately? It's kind of one of those things, you know. So he challenges Razor to a match next week on Raw, and that's what we're going to get. We're going to get Razor versus 1-2-3 Kid on Raw. Good. Sweet. Awesome. Can't wait. There's that. And then we get your enhancement talent match. Rad Radford, never heard of him, and the Brooklyn Brawler. He should be in the Hall of Fame just because I think he's the most famous jobber next to Gilbert. So I know him, and they face the Smoking Guns. The Smoking Guns. This is Bart Gunn, pre-Buttered Bane boxing match, and this is Billy Gunn, pre-Rockin' Billy Gunn with the Honky Tonk Man kind of thing, and pre-New Age Outlaws, and pre-Cool Billy Gunn, and all that crap. He had a mustache. That's how pre it was. Guns win there. There's none to tell here. Brooklyn Brawler, he's been a jobber all of his life. Will always be a jobber. Never even heard of Rad Radford. This is just to get the Smoking Guns over. WWE does the same thing here. And WCW didn't really have that. You know, on their episode. They didn't have an enhancement talent put over someone. I mean, they had the Sabu Alex Wright thing, but Alex Wright ended up winning. So, and then you had Isaac Yankem versus Scott Taylor, aka Kane versus Scotty 2 Hotty. Again, another enhancement talent match type thing. Scott Taylor's job here was to Isaac Yankem, who Isaac Yankem DDS. So it was Kane playing a dentist. No mask, no nothing. And oh my god. Side note. When I found out that Kane wasn't Kane, when I found out he's been in the WWE all along as a dentist for Jerry the King Lawler, I was pissed. Because that was the biggest swerve of my life, I feel like, when it came to wrestling. The fact that Kane wasn't Kane, and he wasn't in a mask, and that he wasn't always just living with Paul Bearer somewhere in a basement. I was depressed. So now we got Shawn Michaels versus Psycho Sid for the Intercontinental title. This is the match that Eric Bischoff gave away. Excuse me. Gave away during Nitro. So that can really go one of two ways. I mean, you can get people to stay on your show, or that match is going to be so kick-ass, they'll go to the Raw. Which both occasions happened, which we'll get into in later years. This was a main event match. This was a Shawn Michaels match. I don't think anyone really expected Sid to win the championship, or at least I didn't expect Sid to win the championship. Again, I don't know I didn't watch Raw, so I don't know the endings here. I do know Shawn Michaels and Diesel were, WWF champion, Intercontinental champion at the same time, and I believe that's when this was. Sid sets up for the powerbomb. Shawn fights out of it. You get a flying forearm. You get a sweet chin music. And that was that. No, nothing special here. I mean, it was. I'm sure it was a great main event in '95. Probably not a great main event here. And we get plugs for the In Your House that's coming up. I think it was called Good Friends, Better Enemies, but it's called In Your House. It's taking place a week after Fall Brawl. You're getting, the main match that you're getting is Kevin Nash or Diesel and Shawn Michaels in a tag match against Owen Hart and Yokozuna. Owen Hart and Yokozuna are the tag champs. Shawn Michaels the Intercontinental champ. Diesel the WWE champ. All titles are on the line. We're going to get, I guess, if Shawn and Diesel obviously win, they're the tag champs and they remain their respective single championship titles. And I guess if Owen Hart or Yokozuna win, I guess whoever pins, whatever guy they pin, that's what title they get. There's a chance there for a little bit of a dissension between Yokozuna and Owen Hart. Because I'm trying to pin Shawn Michaels, but I don't want my partner to pin Shawn Michaels either. Or I'm trying to pin Diesel. I don't want my partner to pin Diesel. So it's interesting there. So, alright. So now that we've gone over Raw versus Nitro, let's take a look-see here. What do we got? Best commentary. Do we go with the team of Eric Bischoff, Bobby Heenan, and Steve Mongo McMichael? Or do we go with the simple, comfortable, not so pleasant Vince McMahon and Jerry Lawler? They were both bad, both terrible. The heels, Bobby Heenan and Jerry Lawler, I had no problem with. It's really, I unfortunately think that I'm going to have to go with WWE on this one. WWF, Vince McMahon, Jerry Lawler. Only because I hate Steve Mongo McMichael, and I still don't understand why he's there. And Eric Bischoff, the hot shot that he is, that whole VKM thing, the whole VK Wall Street thing, and the whole giving away the results. Granted, I mean, I don't have a problem with that. It's really just they hyped up that VK thing too much. I'm going to have to go with the commentary with WWF. So, we'll do that. Next, matches. I mean, you got like 7 matches in total to pick from, really. I think WCW had 3 and Raw had 4. Or maybe the other way around, I don't know. But I'll go with WCW on this one. Mainly because they had Randy Savage, and I love Randy Savage. Who doesn't? But no, I would have to say WCW. Even though that Randy Savage match had that hokey ass finish with Scott Norton. I could not get into the WWE matches. I mean, even the Razor Ramon Bulldog match, that's a match that I feel like I would be totally into because of who's in it, but couldn't get into it. And really, the story wasn't about the Bulldog; it was about Razor and 1-2-3 Kid and a little bit of Shane Douglas. And then you had the Smoking Guns face 2 jobbers. You had Isaac Yankem face 2 jobbers, and then all that to build up to the Shawn Michaels Psycho Sid match. So basically, I think they're trying to have a big match with Razor and Bulldog to start the show to get you into it. Then you got to go through two jobber matches, and in those 2 jobber matches, you could switch over to Nitro for a little bit, and you switch over to Eric Bischoff giving away the results of the main event that Shawn Michaels beat Psycho Sid, and now you turn back and it's like, I don't want to watch that now. So why would you stick around for 2 jobber matches when you already know the ending to the main event? So then, so yeah, I'd have to say the matches, and then the Hulk Hogan Lex Luger thing, that was good, even though they again had a DQ finish. And it was cool to see Sabu in WCW, even though he didn't fit. So yeah, I'll go with WCW on that one. And then the realism. Which show here would, I feel like, I guess, for lack of a better term, is real? And also, if I had not watched a lick of wrestling at all in my life, which show would I be more in tune to? Now, I guess it depends on the age. I mean, if I were 5, I'd probably steer more towards WWE. But I'm not 5. I'm 26. And I have to go with WCW. I mean, the heat in that last segment between Hogan and Luger and Savage and Sting, I would fucking think that they were about to go at it. Savage, Hogan versus Sting and Luger. I feel like they were about to go at it. Whereas Shawn Michaels stripping in the main event, that's not really my thing. I mean, good looking dude. I don't want to see him do that. So, all in all, I think this week I'll have to give the edge to the WCW. It's not surprising. It's a brand new product. It's in its 2nd week. WWE is starting to get hokey pokey, childy. People don't want that in the mid-90s. They want to see realism. They want to see cutting edge stuff. Not so much cutting edge stuff this week on either show, but if I had to give the edge to some show, it would be Nitro. So I will be giving the edge to Nitro. I will find out if Nitro actually beat Raw in the ratings. I will report that to you on the next episode. But guys, hey, look at that, 45 minutes. We did it. I think that's awesome. And that's covering two 45-minute shows. Imagine when they start moving to an hour. Imagine start moving 2 hours. I hope you got your fucking popcorn ready because it's going to get freaking exciting. Week 1 down, guys. That's great. The Monday Night War lasted from 95 to 2001. That's 6 years. So, like I said, I expect this to be a staple. I mean, if I do this every week, I hope you guys stick around and we can grow old together. Yeah, guys, that's it. We're done here. Next week. Sometime next week. I don't know. Again, like I said, I'm away Friday and Saturday of next week. Hopefully I can bring you guys. I'm gonna try. I'm not gonna try. I'm gonna do it, but I will let you guys know via social media when Raw versus Nitro episode 2 will be out. Also, again, I'm looking for another way to entertain you guys. So, if you guys want to do Ask Me Anything, I think they call it, on Twitter, send me Twitter questions, Mike Butler 1127. I'll answer them on a podcast next week. Also, I will be there for Monday Night Raw review. I will be there for SmackDown review. You know that, especially during WrestleMania season. I don't want to miss a show there. Once again, guys, thank you so much for listening, watching. It's been the amount of support I've been getting the past couple weeks. Actually, it's been crazy. Even if you're just a friend, I appreciate it. The subscribers are growing. The likes are growing. Like my Facebook page, the Mike Butler Wrestling Podcast. Listen to my boys over at the Brocast. Follow them on Twitter, the Brocast Podcast. They have great stuff over there. Great content. And again, guys, like me on Facebook. Subscribe to me on Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, and also most importantly, subscribe to the page here. Every little bit helps, so I appreciate it. Thank you so much, and we are out. And also, before I leave, this is taking place on a Saturday, so this might not make sense when you watch it, but I'm from Philly. I know what's going on today, Saturday. We got March 11th. I know what's going on. It's a Shamrock Shuttle. Guys, please, be safe. Don't drink and drive. That's what the bus is there for. Don't be like some of these other jackwagons, okay? Anyway, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Deuces.